What's the stupidest way you got laid? NSFW. Just got a new kitten. Was outside a club on my phone and locked it. Girl next to me saw my home screen of me with said kitten on my head. Asked about him and got talking. The night was winding up, so I said I was gonna head home. She goes in to grab her jacket and comes running back out asking to come back to my place and see my kitten. Things went as expected. Felines ended up being a bit of a theme for the rest of the night actually. Had the little guy maybe 4 days at that point. What a bro. He got a new bed the next day and more treats that he knew what to do with. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. Next door neighbor in college had a corrupted ass. She had to write some papers and had her photos and shit on that drive. So I saw her crying on the back balcony while trying to phone Geek Squid / University Tech Support while I was beating my rug to get the dust and stuff out. Asked her what was wrong. She said her computer was broken. I asked her if I could take a look. Saw that her OS was corrupted. Pulled her drive. Plugged it into my hub so I could retrieve all of her stuff and reinstalled Windows 7. Shout out to the university for giving us Microsoft keys. Got her machine to fire up back to normal. She gave me a big hug and kissed me on the cheek. Asked me how much she owed me. I was hungry at this time since I was slaving away at beating my rug earlier to get the dust and shit out. So I told her to give me food or something. We had manicotti then had sex. Afterwards I clogged her toilet, so we never talked after this. Edit. For the love of God guys, we literally had a really old rug that wasn't cleaned for at least 5 years, so there was a lot of dust. So I had to take it onto the back balcony and beat it with a big stick. Was at a New Year's party. At midnight, my best friend grabbed the back of my head and the back of the head of the girl standing next to me and shoved our faces together for the New Year kiss. We ended up in an upstairs bedroom not long after. Damn. What a guy. My neighbor once asked me to help her debone a whole chicken. When I walked in there was no chicken. So I walked into her room to ask where it was and she was naked. Reverse naked man Ed. Worked on me. Edit. Guys, I was the one that was deboned. Thinking I was gonna sneeze when not realizing I'm staring right at this girl for an extended period of time. Somehow she took it as a move. I once got a blowjob because I gave a girl my last slice of pizza. I need to know what kind of pizza it was before I can say whether that was a good deal or not. I was leaving the bar one night. As I was about to walk out the door, this girl who was about to come in stopped and looked me over. She asked me my name, so I tell her. She says nice to meet you. Let's go and takes me by the hand. Drunk me gives an enthusiastic okay and we walk hand in hand to her apartment. Told a girl who liked pandas that I also liked pandas. Same thing happened with me and a girl who liked dinosaurs. We had been talking for a while already, but my dinosaur knowledge sealed it. During college, I was at a scientific conference with about 10 or so other students from my department. Due to an odd number of males and females, one girl was going to be lucky enough to get a room to herself. We got to the hotel the night before the conference. All the students gathered into adjoining rooms to drink the night away. Naturally there was significant arguing over the single room. Eventually, after several drinks, all the girls huddled together, evidently to hash out who got the room. After finishing their huddle they rejoined the party. One girl who pretty much all I knew about her was her name and the fact she was recently single started chatting with me. I asked her who ended up getting the room. She leaned in and said the one of us who picks up one of the guys first. I sat there stunned. She grabbed my hand, led me out the door while winking at the other girls at the party. To this day I don't know why she chose me. TLDR, got laid because a girl wanted a hotel room to herself during a conference. Working abroad in Spain for a few months as part of a college program. Got pretty close with a handful of guys and girls and we would all go out together. One night I'm dancing with one of them and I'm super drunk. So I lean in and say, hey, do you want to shock the world? Trying to hook up with her. That, clearly, did not work. But the next day I brushes it off and laughed about it with everyone. Week later we're all out again and a different girl in our friend group asks me if I want to shock the world. End up taking her home. Asked a girl to come over. She said yeah, but I don't want to hook up. I said cool, not really my thing either. It was 5 AM and she didn't want to leave, so we hooked up and she left 4 hours later. Still don't really get it. We got into a spontaneous burp off at a party of mine and she ended up staying over. Happened with a friend of mine who I didn't know had a thing for me. Hey, did you see where went? Trying to get with her tonight. If you don't want to put in the work you can just take me home right now. A few years ago I used to post on a relationship forum. I had a reputation for being a bit of a sad sap over there. A girl member who ended up living close by to me wanted to meet and see if there was something wrong with me and try to figure out why I suck with women. The night we were to meet up she got lost, and by the time she arrived the place we were going to meet up had closed. So then we just ended up going to a local dive bar. We ended up talking forever and it was getting late. She suggested going to my place to talk some more. She lived about 40 minutes away from me. So we are back at my place drinking and talking. I'm sitting on the couch and suddenly she straddles me then kisses me. I have no idea what is happening. She pulls out her tits and says hurry up and duck me. TLDR. Met a girl from a forum. Wanted to prove to her that I'm a normal dude. Ended up sleeping with her after knowing her in person for a few hours and we became FWBs for a little over a year. I bet with a girl I just met on the outcome of our football game. Loser buys the winner a beer. She asked if there was a way to make the bet more interesting. I said yes. The loser give the winner oral sex. She agreed. She lost. She paid up in my car. Then we went to my house and continued. Football, right? I was at a hotel in college with a bunch of other college kids. A bunch of us were in one room drinking, and I had to go to the bathroom but someone was using the one in the room. I said I was going to my room to use that one and also get some more beer. A girl in the group asked if she could come with me. When I came out of the bathroom she had one of my t-shirts on. I didn't go back to the party room with more beer. In college, I would shave my head to the bone. I used an electric razor on my face because I can't grow a beard and I would use a blade on my scalp. I went to a friend in the dorm and asked her if I could borrow some of her women's shaving cream so I wouldn't get razor burn. She volunteered to shave my head for me. When she was done, I said thanks and went down the hall to get a shower. I came back to the room and she was still there waiting for me. She was extremely turned on by shaving my skull. She quite literally attacked me when I opened my door. We destroyed my room, flipped furniture, broke a desk, and knocked the doors off one of the closets. I almost felt victimized. Almost she was my barber for the rest of the year. 10/10ths best haircut ever. I tried the nice shoes, wanna bang line 6 times in one night. Worked the last time. I mean, I hope it worked the last time. It'd be weird if you asked a girl, got a yes, and then proceeded to ask another girl. I had a particular sweater in college that looked really good on me. It had blue stripes that just perfectly matched my eye color and fit perfectly and even hid that I was super skinny a little bit. My friends jokingly called it my duck me sweater. I wore it on most of my first dates and had moderate success. One time, I wore it to the bar on a random Friday in the fall and my friends were giving me shit for it. They kept loudly saying shit like great. Watch out women. All are powerless in the presence of an on in his duck me sweater. Finally, after about 10 or 15 minutes of randomly saying shit like this loudly, a very attractive girl seated behind me at another table stood up and said okay, hold on, let me see the sweater. So I stood up, turned in a little circle, and she smiled and paid her bill and we left the bar for Bone Town. My friends never gave me shit about it afterwards, and the sweater was tragically destroyed by an ex after she broke up with me and didn't want me to have it anymore. RIP duck me sweater. At a party, I drank a girl's liquor without asking permission. She came up to me as I was pouring myself some and said, "Hey, that's mine." I said, "Well then let's drink it together." We ended up together in bed later that night. Swindled her out of liquor and a good time. Me, I need to get laid. Roommate, wanna have sex. Bought a girl a milkshake during college orientation. 5 years later, we got married. And that's the story of how I got laid. I broke up with my now ex-girlfriend and was pretty down about it. A good friend of mine suggested I go out with him and a few buddies to a house party. I turned down the offer at first, but was swayed by the fact that he said there was going to be a girl there that would help me get over my ex. So I went and sealed the deal, but that's not the odd part. The following weekend there was another house party at the same place with a lot of the same people, including the girl I had gotten naked with in a biblical way from the weekend before. My friend wanted to set me up with a busty redhead that was going to be there, but assured me she wouldn't put out. I did my best to show her the goods, but to no avail. But did get a number. The second time I ran into the redhead, we get good and drunk, and she invites me to get bedroom. But I'm too drunk. Trying not to piss away this opportunity, I think to myself, if I get some blood flowing, I might get halfway there and be able to fake it. So I roll her over in an aggressive manner, and the loudest fart of my life comes out of me. We are nose to nose as 150 dBs of methane comes screaming out of my ass. I asked her, "What was that?" To which she replies, "You farted." Not to go down without a fight. And in a last ditch effort I ask, "Are you sure that wasn't you?" And she replies with a staunch, "Yes." So I pass out. We were married 4 years later. At party in my house, girl asks if I have an iPhone charger. I say yeah. In my room. She asks if I can take her to my room. We duck and charge her phone. Was in college. Got randomly paired with 2 girls in my class to work on a project. We met in one of the girls' dorms. After we finished the project, she pulled out a pack of beers, and we just drank and talked. One of the girls was telling a story about how she saw someone at a bar kiss 2 people simultaneously. I was like, what? That's not possible. And they were both like, dude, it's totally possible. And I was like, how? I can't even picture that. So they showed me. We were drunk and things quickly escalated to us having a threesome. 10/10ths were do another school project with them. TL. Doctor did a group project with 2 girls. As a group we got a B, but they both got a D that night. Girl told me she didn't like her, but was round like a melon. Told her I wanted a bite of that melon. She gave me a bite of that melon. A friend invited me to a gay pride festival. I had never been, so I thought, why not? I remember a lot of dancing and drinking, but at some point this hot chick appeared and started hanging out with our group. We danced. We kissed. I ended up in her apartment. I still don't ever remember having a conversation with her. Went out for drinks with 2 girls. Girl 1 and I were supposed to be on a date. Girl 2 got stood up. Girl 1 was a horrible B, and I told her to go home. Girl 2 and I looked at each other, said why not, and went back to her house and to do the deed. Turns out girl 1 and 2 were roommates. We banged while girl 1 slept on the couch. We were sitting on a car watching the Perseid meteor shower. I went to grab a drink that was between us. She thought I was turning to kiss her, and 2 minutes later my pants were gone. It was our first date. I never found the pants. Got a cab home from the bar. Girl driving the cab and a girl in the passenger seat. Passenger was friend of driver and also somewhat intoxicated. She was talking to me on the ride and noticed she had her tongue pierced. I said, hey, I have always wanted a blowjob by a girl with a tongue ring. When we got to my house she said, okay, let's go. She and the driver came in, and the driver sat at my kitchen table and did paperwork while her friend came into my bedroom with me. Never saw either one again. And couldn't tell you a name. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.